you find my. Yes, we were born to be alive. Born to be alive. Yes, we were born, yes, we were born to be alive. Born to be alive. Yes, we were born, yes, we were born to be alive. Born to be alive. Yes, we were
Born to be a vibe. Born to be a vibe.
Yes, we were born.
All right, get over here. I got something to show you. Get over here. I've got something important to show you. I didn't get very much sleep last night. I had to wake up every couple hours. We got a baby in the house. So I was up every 2 hours checking on the baby, giving it milk and helping it poop. The baby that I'm talking about, of course, we found in our backyard. It fell out of a tree. Once we found it, we did some research, figured out what we should try to do. It was getting to be near sunset, so we didn't have much time. Because once the sun goes down, there was not very much chance that its mom was going to come get it. And it was going to get down to about 40 degrees that night, and I just didn't think that it was going to make it through the night if we didn't bring it inside. So we left it outside. I put a little, I got one of those, rice heater things, you know, those, packs, those hot packs. I got one of those nice and warm, and I went out and I put it, and I just kind of, wrapped it around where the little baby squirrel was. Gave him a little t-shirt to lay on. Made him a little nest, just to see if the mom would come down and get him. Mom didn't come pick him up. We gave her some time, but she didn't show. So we made a little. I was reading all sorts of stuff about how to take care of a baby squirrel, how to rehab one. We found out he's probably about 3 weeks old. And now he's got, and it's a he. It's a he. But we brought him inside and we got him in a little tub. We got a little plastic tub, and then he's got some shirts and stuff in there to nuzzle up with, and then we've got a heating pad underneath the tub, set to a low temp. Found this. I was up reading squirrel guides. All right, I was doing research. I had tabs open. You know, how much do I need to feed it? How often do I need to feed it? What should I do to make a little thing for it? So anyway, we made a nice little place for him to hang out, and I had to get up every 2 hours to check on him. We just wanted to make sure he was going to be okay. You know, you could tell he wasn't really injured. Let me show you. This is what he looks like. We found him right out of the tree, and we just quickly scooped him up and put him in a nearby box. Don't worry, he wasn't in this box for very long. Because the animals were in the backyard with us, and we wanted to keep him safe. So we just put him in a little box real quick. Based on what I could find out, he's probably about 3 weeks old. Not very big. Here's my hand for scale. Look at those nails. Look at those climbers. So we got him all set up. This is him. We took this morning. We got this little, it's like a little cloth, it's like, it was something that Casey got to like put over her hair whenever she's in the bathtub, but it's like a cloth sack, so it's like a perfect little like nest for him to just like nuzzle in. So all he does now is he sleeps, and then we get him up and he'll eat. I've been feeding him puppy milk. I had to make a run to the store to get puppy milk. Not actual puppy milk, it's puppy milk replacer. It's like baby formula, but for puppies. So we've been feeding that out of a syringe, a needleless syringe. At this stage, he's kind of a messy eater. He's once he gets a little bit bigger, it'll be easier for him to eat out of the syringe instead of like off a nip. But isn't he so cute? He's such a sweet little cuddly boy. We found out you have to help baby squirrels poop. It's something their moms normally do. You have to help them get their poop out. So you take a Q-tip and you have to like wipe their butt. It's not gross or anything, it's like very small, very Figures the one day I don't have my animal rehab book with me, I could send some pages over Discord if you'd like some extra reading material. Yeah, you know, especially as he gets older. Once he gets old enough, we're gonna transition him back into living outside. You know, we're not keeping him as a pet or anything, because squirrels just aren't built for that. He'd go crazy. He'd be running all around the house, chewing on stuff. Foraging everywhere. He'd be miserable. It wouldn't work out for anybody. So we're gonna kind of make like an indoor outdoor or like a little squirrel house outside for him once he's big enough, so he can like come hang out if he wants to, and give him some nuts. Lots of mammals help with the first poo-poo. Moms will sometimes digest it to hide the smell from predators. Moms don't get enough credit. We got moms out here literally having to eat their baby's poop to keep them safe. Moms don't get enough credit. Next time you're at a family gathering, You know, ask your mom, would you eat my poop to keep me safe? To which she'll probably reply, that's gross. Why would you ask me that? Well, Mom, a squirrel would do it. A squirrel mom would do it. He's just so cute. I have to feed him here in about an hour. It's been an hour since his last feeding. Also, what I've noticed is he'll tend to poop every other feeding. I try to get him to poop every time I feed him. But right now, he's been pooping like every other feeding. And I think it might be because he's still getting used to the syringe. So he's been eating, but he could probably eat more, but I don't want to risk overfeeding him. I've learned that baby squirrels can be very susceptible to being overfed. You don't want to fill them up. Also, you gotta be careful when you feed them because you don't want to get any food in their nose. I've learned so much in the past few hours. So anyway, last night I felt like the parent of a newborn baby. I was up every couple hours checking on the guy. I had this lady at work that would always rescue these. They're cute. I might get a little eyedropper for feeding, because the syringe will probably work better once he's a bit bigger, but I want to run into the store and get like an eyedropper for him. Like, where do you buy an eyedropper? My dad worked at a mill and he came home with some baby squirrels. Oh, they were really little. Yeah, when they're really little. It's, you know, you gotta be on top of it, and it can be very touch and go. Because they're very susceptible to, like, temperature. Like, they need to stay warm. You gotta, you gotta be on top of it. But yeah, he's about 3 weeks, so he's a little bit further along. He's still really little. But all things considered, he's been acting okay. He's not very vocal. Like, he'll chirp a little bit. He doesn't really cry. All of his legs seem just fine. No visible injuries from falling out of the tree. He did have a little bit of just a little bit of a bloodied nose. But, we got that cleaned off and, he seems okay. But yeah, he likes to sleep and eat and poop. And that's about it. He just loves to nuzzle. Do we get a puppy? Yeah, and look at its feet. Doesn't it have weird feet? And a big rat tail. Tree puppy. Oh, hey, Aaron, how's it going? Aaron, if you want to come over sometime and see the baby squirrel. It's very cute. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, and your birthday besties. Happy birthday. So yeah, I'm gonna keep a close eye on him, and you know, hopefully everything will be just fine. With these small little animals, you know, they can be so fragile, and, you know. So we're just trying our best to make him comfortable and make sure he's taken care of. Also, in doing a bunch of research to take care of this squirrel, I've gotta say, nothing is consistent. You know, I've been reading all sorts of posts and blogs and guides and dedicated websites to rehabilitating squirrels, and they all say something a little bit different. So, yeah, this is a growth chart for baby squirrels, so I don't know, maybe he's a little closer to 4 weeks. A little closer to 4 weeks. His eyes will open at around 4 weeks. You know, his ears have started to come away from his head. Everyone has their meta on squirrel rehab, it seems. We got some Pedialyte and some puppy milk. That was something I found consistently on different websites. I went to a bunch of different websites and I kind of just got the general consensus of what they were all saying. So I was like, okay, Pedialyte and puppy milk. The first time I gave it anything, I just gave it a little bit of Pedialyte because they're like, rehydrate the squirrel if the squirrel's dehydrated. He didn't seem to be that dehydrated. He hadn't been out of the tree for all that long. So, but I went ahead and just gave him some Pedialyte and then waited a few hours before we tried to give him any milk. And then that first time I fed him a mix of Pedialyte and puppy milk, which is something that I also saw on one website to do, just like mix them together. So it's extra hydrating. And now he's just doing just the regular puppy milk. No more Pedialyte. And that seems to be fine. So, looking at these pictures, is there any sort of animal sanctuary? If I took it to like a wildlife center, they would probably just put it down, which it would really suck. I'm rooting for the guy. Oh, for advice? Yeah, I was researching all sorts of stuff. So I've got a pretty good idea of what needs to be done. But in looking at these pictures, this is a week by week, I would say that, you know, if we were to compare side by side here, he looks to be a little older than 3, but maybe not quite 4. I feel like he's past 3 for sure, looking at these pictures. But yeah, when you find a baby and it's like 1 or 2 weeks old, it's like, that's going to be really touch and go. That's going to be really tricky to take care of them. Gotta be careful around them dogs. Yeah, we keep the squirrel safe from the dogs. We don't let any of the other animals near it. Yeah, I'd say he's almost 4 weeks. They say the eyes start to open at around 4 weeks. So, yeah, and looking at these pictures, I'd say, yeah, he's probably closer to 4. He's got most of his fur. I'm so excited. Oh my god. I hope everything goes out fine. You know, I worry about the little guy. I was up checking on him every 2 hours, for fuck's sake. I care about the little fella. I want to see him make it. Casey was wanting to name it. I'm like, just wait till its eyes open, babe. Just like, I don't want her to break her heart. I'm like, I don't want you to name it and get too attached. I'm like, we're still in the beginning here. Like, we want to make sure he pulls through. But he's eating. You know, the guides I've been saying say that he should be eating a little bit more than he does eat. But what I do is I feed him from the syringe and he'll gobble it up. And then he'll pull away. He'll be like, okay, I'm done. I'm going back to sleep. And so I'm just like, all right, that's it. Like, I'm not going to force feed you an extra 2 milliliters because the website says you should be eating 4 milliliters right now. I'm just going to give you the 2. I'll let you go back to sleep. I'll wake you up in 2 hours and see how you feel. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been kind of like, you know, trusting the instincts of the animal to that extent. I'm like, because they said don't overfeed a baby squirrel, and so I'm like, I'm not gonna overfeed this baby squirrel. I'm not gonna force it to eat if it's turning its head away from food. I'm like, I trust that it can recognize that it's done. I don't think it's. It doesn't seem like it's inclined to gorge itself. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, if your belly's full, your belly's full. Not an exact science, I know. That's the thing about it. And I was just, as I was laying in bed, just thinking about this, you know, thinking about, well, I gotta check on him every 2 hours. I was just like, I reminded myself, I'm like, squirrels don't wear watches. Squirrels don't know what 2 hours are. So just, you know, if you're not exact and precise with what everybody is telling you to do, and you're just, you know, working with what works, things should be all right. He's due for a poop though. I gotta help him poop here in 30-45 minutes. I'm gonna give him a little bit more milk. But yeah, I was up every 2 hours. It was like having a newborn. It was kitten milk for the raccoons I was nannying. Yeah, when you take care of like baby animals, it's interesting to see like what types of milk replacements you give them. Because when you do raccoons, they need kitten milk. You know, they need something different. The every 2 hours thing was brutal. Was bringing them to the ranch with me and staying up all night. Yeah, it's like you gotta check on them like every 2 hours. Sometimes it'll be like 2.5. Like I'll just. It's my understanding that if he was really hungry, he would start screaming at me. Has he pooped yet at all? Oh, he's pooped twice. He pooped once this morning, and then he pooped last night. I'm trying to get, like, what he seems to do is he poops every other feeding. So about every 4 hours, 5 hours. So he might be due for another poop. That's why baby birds are so nice. You just force feed them an exact amount on a chart as they grow. You need to stimulate them to go potty? Yes. That's why I've got paper towels and Q-tips on my desk. Can't wait till his eyes open, though. That'll be cute. Renaming him eventually. I want to wait till his eyes open. I want to wait till his eyes open. You know, he's still very young, very little. There's a part of me that's just like, just wait. Don't break your heart, you know what I mean? How do you know he's a male? The penis and balls, mostly. I mean, he's not old enough for me to ask him what his pronouns are, but I'm just going male based on the dick and balls. With kittens, you can't tell. Oh, he's a boy. What's dick and balls? Ask your dad. What's the sandwich? It's just a chicken patty sandwich with a slice of cheese on it. I just needed something to eat. I just needed something to eat. I took a nap this morning because my sleep was all fucked up. You know, I stayed up until 2 in the morning. And then I had to get back up at 4, and I had to get back up at 6, and I had to get back up at 8. So I went back to sleep. Raised a house sparrow hatchling a couple of years ago. It was such a sweet but stressful time. Yep, that's what it's like taking care of babies. It's like, they really are just so fragile. You have to be very careful with them, and the really sad, messed up thing is like sometimes they're just, you know, like sometimes it's just, they just don't make it, and there's no real discernible reason why. They're just very fragile creatures. Especially with these tiny little mammals, you know? He looks really healthy, though. He does. He does. I have a good feeling, but, you know, I do try to remain realistic just in case. But I think it's that worry, that anxiety, it helps me to, you know, be more vigilant. Like, I wouldn't want to not be worried about taking care of a newborn. You know what I mean? We always talk about turning anxiety into a tool, or, you know, utilizing your anxiety. This is a good example of that. You want anxiety to be there when you're taking care of a newborn. Period. Like, you need to be on top of that shit. You need to be vigilant. So thank you, anxiety, for helping me do that. Are you planning on releasing him when he's older? Yeah, we're going to transition him outside. At around 10 weeks or so. Before that, you know, we'll let him outside. We'll give him some time to, like, practice foraging and stuff. And who knows, maybe he'll just run up a tree and then we'll never see him again. But, you know, he might hang around. He might come back. He might get used to us and attach to us and then come back to us for food and stuff. So we're going to make a little squirrel house. And maybe we're gonna give like put like a tightrope or something that goes over to the tree nearby. Something like that. That'd be kind of cool. He's very cute. I can't wait. I will be so relieved though when he's just a little bit older, because he's still at such a critical point. You know, about 4 weeks, I'm like, oh my god. Like, thankfully he looks healthy. He will enthusiastically eat. It's not like I have to, you know, force him to eat. He's not very, like, he's lethargic. Don't get me wrong, but that's basically all that they do when they're this size. Is they stretch to help build their muscles. They sleep so they can just grow, and then they eat and they poop. That's about it. You don't really want to keep a squirrel as a pet inside. They're just not built for it. Squirrels' teeth don't quit growing, so they always need to chew on stuff. They're foragers, so they're always going to be like searching around in things, getting into tight spots, you know, climbing up stuff, scratching things up. They'll get restless. You know, they are meant to be outside. They weren't, you know, they're not domesticated creatures. They're not suited for indoor living. But he can still come back to visit. It says this is baby flying squirrels. This looks a lot like the squirrels in my backyard. This doesn't really look like a flying squirrel. This looks like a regular squirrel, like a gray squirrel. There's a whole subreddit, I found a squirrel. Is that the subreddit I'm in? Good to know. Yeah, this, I just noticed the title of this post is Aging Baby Flying Squirrels. I'm like, also it says 6 of the most detailed baby squirrel aging pictures, but there's 8 pictures in this. This whole thing is just, unless, yeah, no, this is the same post. Oh wait, no, it's a totally different post. What? This is definitely a baby squirrel. A baby flying squirrel. What's going on over here? Whatever. It just says all this down here. I'm like, okay. Everybody knows Reddit's a great website. Look at this chunky boy. Yeah, he's almost this size. This squirrel's got a little bit more fur than he has, but he's getting there. Oh my god. So cute. Squirrel can live 5 to 10 years. Huh. Night feeding as needed. Okay. At the 4 to 5 week mark. 4 to 5 cc's every 3 to 4 hours. I've been doing half of that every 2 hours. I've been doing about 2 cc's every 2 hours. That should help him transition into the food, though. Anyway. Just getting all my numbers in a row. If I eat too often, I get diarrhea. That's why I don't want to overfeed the squirrel. I want to give him diarrhea. All right. We got a question in the question box. All right, let me finish this bite of this food. I got a call back from a job interview. Nice. Nice. What a cool early birthday present. Hell yeah. Right, got a question in the box. Today was the worst day of my life. I had to drive 2 hours for a medical appointment, only to find out I have a tumor or mass in my colon. I don't know yet if it's cancer. I have to wait and get a colonoscopy to have it tested. There's a 2-week delay for the procedure and it's really stressing me out. It's gonna be a rough 2 weeks, just letting you know. You probably already knew that though. The waiting, it's the hardest part. The good news though is that you got yourself checked out and you found it, and now they can continue with treating it, so that's good. Sucks that it happened, but it's good that you know about it. After the appointment, I had to drive another 2 hours back, but just 5 minutes into the drive, my car broke down. When it rains, it pours. I had to tow it to the dealership, and they told me that the engine is pretty much dead, so I'll need to get a new car. I still have a 10K balance on the car. What kind of car did they sell you where it's got a completely dead engine and you still owe $10,000 on it? Is what I want to know. My boyfriend and I are looking into buying a 2025 model and transferring the remaining balance onto the new loan, which really sucks because the monthly payment will be much higher. Anyway, I'm having a hard time moving on from this day. As would be expected. I think anybody would have a hard time moving on from a day like that. Just being realistic though, if the 2025 model is going to give you too high of a monthly payment, maybe we should not get the 2025 model. Maybe we should get something that's going to keep the payment closer to what we're already paying. You know, instead, so that we don't need to add more stress to the situation, you know what I mean? Like maybe we'll take the hit and get a new used car instead of a brand new 2025. You know, you're gonna end up overpaying. That's why the payment's gonna be so high. Also, maybe we don't want the same car. If the engine just died and you still owed $10,000 on it, maybe we should look into a different car. I don't know. Stopped vaping again. 3 days nick free, but once again, I'm feeling that need for it. Breathing doesn't work. Well, keep trying anyway. Breathing doesn't work yet. Eventually it will. It's what you're going to replace smoking with. Smoking is just breathing with extra steps. You hate how bad things always happen all at once like that? Honestly, I would rather it be that way. I would rather have everything bad happen at once and then have everything be good and then have nothing bad happen. You know, just get it all out of the way. That's my that's my outlook on it. I'm like, well, I'm already having a bad day. Might as well just, you know, instead of ruining another future day that could have otherwise been a good day, like let's just add it onto this one. Let's consolidate it. Let's just have one really bad day. Would you rather have one really bad day or two regular bad days? I think I would just rather have one day ruined than have 2 days ruined. Here's hoping everything turns out okay. You know, it's definitely scary news when you hear the word tumor. And our mind jumps to the worst case scenario. The good news, though, is that you're getting it looked at. You're getting it taken care of. That's all you can do at this point. So just talk to your doctors, you know, follow through with what you need to do, and focus on getting better. Something like cover under insurance, the car or the cancer. And I don't know if it's cancer or just the tumor. I shouldn't say. Could just be something benign. The car. The reason why I asked that is because this is America and our insurance companies love to not pay for things. Medical and vehicle. The car, it could be. You know, I would see if it has some sort of like warranty, especially if the car is not that old. You know, a lot of cars will have a warranty that's like, I don't know, 5-10 years on the transmission or the engine or something like that. I would just look into that first before just going with what the dealership wants you to do. What the dealership is trying to get you to do is get you into a brand new 2025 car where you're going to have a much higher monthly payment because they don't give a shit. They're just trying to sell you a car. So if there is a warranty, if there is some sort of, you know, coverage or something, like, they might not be obligated to disclose that information to you. They might have more of a priority to sell you a brand new car. My hand got better. Good. Time to feed the squirrel. I'm gonna feed the squirrel here in about 30 minutes, probably. Yeah, and I would try to find a new car that's got a comparable monthly payment. We don't need, I know that we want to have the brand new car because that's fun and exciting. It's got all the features and everything, but maybe we need to hold off on that for a little bit. Can we watch? Yeah, I'm gonna do it at my desk. I have to go get his formula. I have some mixed up, and it's in a little container in the fridge. But I have to warm it up. I have to warm it up a little bit before I feed it to him. Can we watch the poop stimulation? I'm gonna have to do a poop stimulation, but I don't know if I'm gonna show that to you. I don't really want to hold him up too high and all these lights and stuff anyway, because they prefer to be fed in a more dim lighting environment. Robin here. Hi, Robin. I can't get out of a nihilistic mindset. I'm trying, I swear. You see, that to me doesn't sound like nihilism. That part right there. Getting out of a nihilistic mindset feels that way. It's like, why can't I get out of this? I'm trying my best to get out of it. And then one day you are out of it. And you're not quite sure when it happened or how you did it. But it did happen. And you feel better. That day will come. You're getting there. Just continue to catch yourself in the act of being nihilistic. And just try to make the choice that takes you on the path into a more optimistic mindset, I guess. Optimism defeats nihilism. They actually kind of combine and merge into this new philosophy that, okay, Scout, oh, she's honking. Too self-aware for nihilism. It's true, nihilism's for the edgelords. Optimistic nihilism. Nothing matters, but I should still try to make the best of it. Everything will eventually turn to dust, but that doesn't mean I can't have a little bit of fun while I'm here. It's like being on vacation and being like, this vacation is gonna end someday. I can't enjoy it. This vacation's only gonna be a week long, and then I have to go back to my real life. It's like, no, you enjoy the vacation while you're in it, knowing that it will end. It's the impermanence of things that give them more beauty, that make them more cherished. I decided to take a break from streaming for a couple weeks and change up my routine to hopefully find something, anything that inspires me or gives me a sense of purpose. I'm so exhausted it's hard to enjoy anything. I work, I do self-care, I rest, I can't rest enough. Honestly, same. You know what I found to help me get up? Baby squirrel. Now I'm waking up every 2 hours. I was going to make cookies the other day to try to change things up, but my parents left the kitchen a mess and I didn't have the energy to clean up after them and then make cookies. Both was just too much, so I didn't. Such a bummer at work lately. and I hate it. I switched inventory systems recently, so I don't fully understand how to do my job, which makes me feel useless. Everything is dumb. No one knows anything. Everything is awful. Like, I just keep saying these negative things because I'm so exhausted and frustrated. I was recently referred to as the most bubbly negative person ever. I cash apped a friend $80 to pay for their insulin. I am giving people gifts to try and feel like I have a purpose, but it just doesn't help. Oh, I know who needs a gift. From you. You do. Maybe we can make some little minor reframes, some little tweaks to these thoughts that we're having. Everything is awful. Everything is awful, but I'm going to try to make it as good as I can. Everything is awful, but I'm going to try to make the best of it. Let's see where that gets me. Letting go of, these types of negative thoughts or these nihilistic beliefs, it can be tough. They're sticky, but they're losing their grip on you. So be patient, be compassionate with yourself, keep taking those small steps, and you'll get there. It's almost baby squirrel time. Robin, does me being nice to you work, or do you want me to be meaner to you? Do you think me being just a little bit more gritty would be helpful? Let me know. I'm willing to be flexible. I think nurturing this baby creature just has me feeling in a very compassionate state of mind today. I have no idea, TBH. Alright, try this one on for size. Nihilism is stupid, but you're not stupid. So knock it off. You want things to get better? What needs to happen to make it better? What change do we need to make? Do we need to make a change in our thinking? Do we need to change our routine? The way that we're acting? Do we need to change the way that we're responding to our emotions? What do we need to do? Are you open to some inspiration from me? Feel free to use me for inspiration if you find it. When you catch yourself having negative thoughts, just take a moment to pause and identify they are what they are. This is a negative idea. This is a negative thought. This isn't me, though. This is just a thought. I am not my thoughts. Having thoughts is just a byproduct of having a brain. Whenever your brain has a thought, look at it as if this is your brain asking you a question. Do I believe this thing? A thought doesn't need to be a belief. A belief is just a thought that you choose to keep thinking. I made a logic joke. I wish I was smarter. Or I wish I had more sleep. I wish I could be less logical about things. Oh, so we need to re-invite whimsy to the party. We need to return to ourselves. We need to return to innocence. What's something that you could do to make you feel a little bit whimsical? The thing is, you're already built for it. You already have the capacity for whimsy. You just need to reactivate your whimsy protocol. Sing and dance. You could do both. You could do one or the other. They're all good. I wanted to make cookies. That's good, but not quite whimsical enough. What can we do to take it to the next level? When was the last time you doodled? When was the last time you colored a page? You really want to connect to your more whimsical self? Do a little bit of coloring. Do a little bit of doodling. That's a really great way to do that. Coloring and doodling are one of the things that kids will do in a more whimsical state. And it's one of the things that we steer away from the older we get. So it could be a really helpful way to reconnect with that part of yourself. Like, is it normal to just get tired when trying to get in touch with creativity? It can be, if you're thinking about it too hard. Don't focus on doing the right thing, just focus on doing a thing. Something that allows you to express yourself creatively. When you look at it that way, you can turn anything into a creative expression. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you cook, the way you take a shower, the way you get out of bed, anything. I've always been an outside of the box creative person, but lately I just can't. I don't know why. Maybe think inside the box for a little while. Get your creative juices flowing before, demanding anything spectacular or, unique from yourself. I need more mushroom mind advice. I'm here for it. Fire away. I gotta go get this squirrel food ready here in a few minutes. We're gonna do a baby squirrel feeding. I also have to help him get the poop out of his butt. Which, let me tell you, much respect to anybody out there who's ever had to help another living creature get poop out of their butt. I salute you. What do albino magic shrooms do compared to other shrooms? I haven't heard of these albino magic shrooms. Are these... I mean, alright, let me explain psychedelic mushrooms real quick. There are all different types, but they all kind of... Yes? Yeah, in like 5 minutes. Are you... Oh, you got the camera ready? Okay, Casey's got the camera ready. A different strain. Are you gonna be here for a minute? I might answer this here in a minute instead. The main type of magic mushroom is Psilocybe cubensis, but this comes in all different strains. What are the differences? The amount of psilocybin in them sometimes. People will say that the different types of mushrooms are different in some way, but they all have the same active ingredient. They might have different other ingredients in them in the mushroom itself, but it's like it might be a little different, but it's the same active ingredient. It's like Coke or Pepsi. It's like, yeah, basically the same, maybe a little different. I don't know, I've never heard of albino magic shrooms before. Are these a cubensis? So they are a cubensis. Also, they don't even look all white. Why are they called albino? That doesn't make any sense. They still look the same. Yeah, it's the same shit. It's I've been having what feels like deja vu, but maybe it's just nostalgia. Maybe it's a return to yourself, a return to innocence. I keep saying that because it's a line from a song. Alright. We're doing the baby squirrel feeding. So I need to go get... I need to go get his food ready. So give me just a minute. Alright, let's feed this baby. Not the squirrel. Yes, the squirrel, Dean. It's a baby. I have to feed it every few hours. My timelines are crossing over, I fear. Good. You want to be in the prime timeline. Or one of the prime timelines. Probably more than one. Anyway, be right back. I gotta go get the squirrel stuff ready. Actually, I'm just gonna pull up Casey's stream because we're gonna feed it.
I think that
So So I'll just do it this way.
Because it was in a cat's mouth. I think that makes it less likely, you know, that they'll get the squirrel or that they'll reclaim the squirrel. They like dark though, so but so basically, yeah, we waited around to see if the mother squirrel would like get back and retrieve it. I thought about leaving it outside again today to see if one of the squirrels would take it, and ultimately we just were like, fuck it, let's just take care of it. I honestly don't think one of the squirrels would take it, probably because it smells too much like human now. But yeah, we did a lot of research, and you feed them puppy formula. We got a little syringe. We have to feed them puppy formula, or we have to feed him, it's a boy. We have to feed him puppy formula and Pedialyte. And you have to feed them pretty frequently, like every
We could probably
2-3 hours.
3-4 hours, but we've been doing every 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just in the beginning, and we've been feeding about half of what you would feed them.
Are there no wildlife rescues by you? Okay, and I was gonna get to that. God, I know I'm gonna get so annoyed having to explain myself like 50 fucking times. People are like, a wildlife center doesn't give a fuck about a squirrel. Like, if we would have taken it to a wildlife center, they would have just euthanized it. So it was basically either we take it to a wildlife center. You guys are question marking me, but it's the truth. You guys are, yeah, like, they don't give a fuck about a squirrel. Like, that's
the resources to have somebody feeding it every 2 hours and checking on it overnight. It's like they're barely staffed as it is.
No, they won't. Okay. Okay, if you guys want to cancel me and talk about how bad of a person I am for rehabilitating a squirrel, then that's fine. Go ahead, cancel me. I stole the squirrel from its mother. I refused to take it to an animal rescue. And now I'm keeping it in my house.
Let's bring the vibes up, because we're about to try to feed this baby squirrel, and we don't want to...
No, like, these SJWs are so fucking annoying.
Then ignore them. You don't owe them a response. I'm gonna get a Q-tip real quick. We're gonna see.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess I could have maybe like called around a bunch of animal rescues and seen if we could have found one that would take it, but I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I was doing research, and what a lot of people will do is they'll just rehabilitate them themselves. SJWs, and we're just asking questions. No, like, I feel like I'm being attacked. People are like, why no wildlife rescue?
Because they're probably just gonna put him down.
Yeah. Like, what will you do long term? I'm keeping it in a cage forever. Let me finish. Oh my god.
Alright.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna rehabilitate it until it's 10 weeks, and then you just re-release it into your backyard. We did a lot of research and Googling, and that's what people will do. A lot of the times rescue centers won't take them because there's a fuck ton of fucking squirrels. So whenever you take them to a rescue center, they usually just euthanize them. So we decided to just rehabilitate it ourselves and re-release it into our backyard. That's what people do.
If they took lost baby squirrels, they'd be taking hundreds of them. Alright. I just washed my hands. My hands are clean. There's the baby. Oh.
Please don't get mad. I don't know, you guys are right. I'm just getting a bit defensive because I don't know, like, I feel like I just know how people can be online. They're like, oh, that's irresponsible, da-da-da-da-da. We're not keeping the squirrel. Yeah, you have to stimulate its poop. You have to stimulate its poop with a Q-tip, so that's what Joshua's doing now.
To wipe its butt. Yes, how we know it's a boy.
Ah!
Okay, come on, little buddy. Get the poop.
Is it coming? Are you gonna poop for us?
It's coming. It can take a minute. Let's He's very strong, you know, he's in good shape.
Yeah.
Like here, I'll show you. He's got, all of his legs are working fine. He can climb in the hand.
He's getting stressed. No, he's not. Shut
No, he's about
up.
to
You guys
be.
are
He's okay.
triggering me.
If he was stressed, he'd be screaming at us. He was very vocal.
Yeah, it'll make noises.
Okay, poop is coming. I see it.
Oh, it's pooping.
Come on, poopy.
Does it do any tricks? It's supposed to open up its eyes within like the next week, we think.
Yeah, he's probably about 3.5 weeks old. Here we go.
Oh, it's pooping.
Pooping. Poop is very small, very... It's not...
You have to poop them before you feed them.
Well, that's a lot of poop.
Oh, it's pooping. Yeah, you have to stimulate poop before. Oh, Beavis? Nope.
You got a little more poop in there, bud. Let me get it.
Are you guys mad at me? But no, we're not keeping the squirrel. We're not keeping the squirrel. We didn't take it to
Beavis?
a rescue center. We didn't take it to a rescue center because a rescue center would euthanize it. No, I didn't call around a bunch of different rescue centers to see if one would take it in. Because honestly, a lot of them would probably just like make us surrender the squirrel just so that they could kill it. You know? I'm just saying.
Chat, I'm waking up every 2 hours in the night to check on this little guy. He's in good hands, okay? We're gonna take good care of the baby. Look at all this poop.
Oh, the little...
Here, we're gonna put him back in there and warm him back up a little bit before we feed him. I'm warming his food up. I got his food sitting in some warm water to warm it up a bit. This is what his poop looks like. It's very little.
How is it going to know to gather food when it's older without being around its mom? Like I
You
said,
let it
we did a lot
outside.
of...
Yeah, do you want to know? Like, we can tell you.
You can Google it. You know, it's crazy, but there's like this thing called Google that we have, and you can pretty much Google anything that you need to know about rehabilitating a baby squirrel.
This is your moment! Have it!
Conflicting information, so we're just, trying what works best.
Killer
Kevin, 554, tip $2. Someone called PETA, someone called PETA, someone called PETA. This woman abducted a squirrel from a Christian white family and is planning on grooming the squirrel to make it LGBTQ+. Stream mayhem. Oh, Killer Kevin, 554, how you doing? You think Casey Tron abducted a squirrel to make it LGBTQ+? Honey, take several seats and stop with the nonsense, because the only thing Casey's grooming is her fabulous hair, not some poor squirrel. Clap if you agree. And by the way, I need some cash to keep my cocaine habit going, so tip me, not PETA. You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly, Wendy.
That's not. Isn't it cute? It's kind of weird looking. But, like, we're not like the first people that have done this. Like, I think it's... Huh?
Bob Ross did it.
Bob Ross did it. No, that's true. Bob Ross did it.
He named his Peanut.
He named his Peanut. But yeah, from what we read, like, you just rehabilitate them to about 10 weeks, and then at that point, you just let them go in your backyard, and instincts pretty much take over.
In the weeks up to that, you take them outside, you let them listen to other squirrels, you let them run around a little bit, you let them practice foraging. They run on instincts, so, once they hit a certain age, they're pretty good to go.
Oh, it's Let's baby. It's so cute.
It's a soft H when you say rehabilitate. Say
Rehab.
rehab then. Rehab.
Rehab.
You gonna go to rehab for your butt sniffing addiction?
Yeah, it will know how to get food suddenly at 10 weeks. Well, it's not like they hunt. It's not like they have to. It's not like. It's not like a.
This is your moment! Have it!
You don't have to teach a cat how to hunt. You don't have to teach a squirrel how to forage. We're not gonna be like.
Anonymous tipped $5. Is this Peanut the Squirrel 2.0, comma? Are you doing this to promote an OnlyFans like that one guy did and then go MAGA? How you doing? This ain't no Peanut the Squirrel 2.0, comma, honey, and I ain't here to promote no OnlyFans. I'm Wendy Williams, the queen of hot topics. Casey Tron's got class, and we're here to spill the tea, not go MAGA, so take several seats with that nonsense.
It's
Clap if
really
you agree.
cute whenever he eats.
It can get a little messy.
It gets a little messy. Yeah, but you have to use the little.
There you go. Hey,
He's ready.
Let's see.
He's looking for it.
Nice and slow.
Here, let me. You have to like kind of get a good angle on him.
Yeah, he can be a little squirmy.
There you go. There you go. There it is. Oh, you doing it?
Sorry. Oh, a little extra. That's why I make extra, because he has a hard time going off of this syringe since he's so little. Let me get some more. I kind of double up. Like, I try to give him like a mil at a time, but I load 2 mils because I expect about half of it is probably spilling out.
This is your moment! Have it!
See, now he's like, he's looking for
He
more.
wants more. He's hungry.
Yeah, whenever he starts getting squirmy, it's like him looking for...
Lennox tipped $2.
nipple
You're a streamer with a
flash.
relatively large audience. Constantly railing against wildlife refugees sends the wrong message. How many viewers do you think you discouraged by constantly repeating your one-sided criticisms? It's irresponsible.
Shut up.
Oh, Lennox, how you doing? You think I'm discouraging viewers by speaking my mind about wildlife refuges? Honey, if they can't handle the truth, they need to take several seats and maybe focus on something more important, like my fabulous wigs. Clap if you agree.
There it is. Oh, he's latching.
Oh, you want a little more, or is he?
Give
Here,
him a
let me
second.
wipe your hand down a little.
Yeah.
He'll also like lick the milk off of your hand.
It's so cute. Are you guys mad at me?
Wendy's too loud. Oh, here, I'll just.
You have to...
Oh.
There. Okay.
Oh,
Here, right here, baby.
come on,
Right
get
here.
some more.
He can't see.
He's blind. He got his eyes closed.
There it is. There it is. Latch on. Latch on, little guy. There it is.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. He's like, oh yeah. It's so funny. He'll get like milk drunk, and then he'll just pass out. He'll just be like, all right, I'm ready for bed. Like a little baby kitten.
A little more.
Want any more?
Yeah, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna build like a couple squirrel boxes in the backyard, and whenever he gets big enough, we're just gonna basically leave him in one.
You good?
My hope is that he'll hang around and we'll have a little outdoor squirrel, and you know, maybe we'll be able to feed it. Maybe he'll let us feed him nuts by hand.
Oh, he loves some nuts. I'm gonna do one more meal, because you probably had about 3, and you're supposed to feed them between 4 and 5. So let's do it.
Do you think?
Close your legs to married men.
Humans now?
Jenna Parks resubscribed for
know.
113
Jenna
months.
Parks,
If you
thank
find a
you.
girl squirrel, name her Sandy.
Any more? Oh, yes.
If this squirrel hangs out around the house, the cats will eat it for sure. Well, we don't let our cats outside. We're not gonna let it hang around the house. We're just gonna, like, the acorn tree that it fell out of in our backyard, we were thinking of just, like, putting a big squirrel box, like, on the side of the tree. Like, nailing a big squirrel box on the side of the tree. Oh, look, he's got his mouth open because he's like, give me more. He's still hungry.
Yeah, a lot of that one's spilled. You kind of have to just eyeball it. I don't want to feed him too much, but he's probably only had about 2.5 meals at this point because he's a little bit of a messy eater.
He wants more.
There you go. A little more. Oh. There you go. Now we're talking. Oh. All right. Want any more? I think he might be almost done. Okay. He's milk drunk. He's ready to pass out. It's so funny. You give him milk and he's just like, alright, I'm ready for bed. He just eats, sleeps, poops. Honestly, that's the dream.
Isn't that so cute? Okay, let me put him back in his little thing. Yeah, it's just like a little baby. Like, once it eats, it's like, all right, I'm going to sleep now. Are you guys judging me? I just know how the libs are. They're gonna be like, you need to give that to a wildlife rescue. But the truth is wildlife like, I don't know, you guys can act like I'm being crazy, but it's true. Wildlife rescues don't take, like, just any animal. Like, a lot of the animals that they take, they probably euthanize. Or at least the ones such as, like, squirrels. Like, an animal rescue doesn't give a fuck about a squirrel.
Just think how many squirrels they probably get. You think they're taking care of every single one of those squirrels and hand feeding all of them? I don't think so.
Some wildlife also just tell you how to take care of them and let you do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, some places you call up there and you say, hey, I found a baby squirrel in my backyard. They're like, okay, here's what you need to do. Oh, sweet bee boy. All right.
I don't think Maya would want it for out. Well, and then it would be like such a far drive. But I think like Maya would say just to re-release it. It doesn't need to.
It's a native squirrel here.
Yeah, it's a native squirrel here for one, and then you know, like a lot of the animals that Maya does keep are like they were like injured and they can't be re-released. That's why they're like ambassadors.
All right. See you in 3 hours, little buddy.
Yeah, see, he's out now.
He passed out. He's milk drunk.
The energy of this house is off. I'm out of here. Are you guys not? Sorry for getting defensive. Sorry if I got defensive and hateful. Sorry. Sorry, Gunnervan. Sorry, Abby. Sorry if I got defensive. I do. I get it. I have a problem with getting defensive. I get you guys were just asking questions.
See you in a few hours, little buddy.
It's so cute. It's a dream come true.
Seems to be doing pretty well. He gobbled up that food. That was probably the most he's ever eaten in one go.
Yeah, he's getting
I
used to
think he's
eating out of
getting
the
yeah,
thing.
he's getting adjusted to it. I think he was pretty shooken up, falling out of the tree, so he didn't really eat very much. He was kind of just...
I wouldn't allow this in my home out of concern of the cats getting sick somehow. Honestly,
The worst thing that could happen
Your
is
tone
they
seems
get-
very
they
pointed
don't
right now.
actually eat
Owls
food.
resubscribed for 42
Probably the
months.
worst thing that could happen.
AWOLs, thank you. And it's not like he was like sickly or
Yeah,
there was
no,
anything. Like, he's a healthy little baby.
He looks so cozy. Casey had this thing, and it works perfect to like wrap him up. It's like a little. You
it's-
just like tuck him in there. See, he's so cozy. Sweet baby. Precious.
No, like, I just keep on wanting to look at him.
Sweetie boy. Alright, time to put him down for a nap.
You can contact some professionals for advices and diseases stuff just in case, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think our cats are going to get, I think that we're fine. Like, animals go and like
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
People Weird resubscribed for 47 months. What's his name?
I want to name him Templeton, but Joshua keeps on acting like no.
I don't want to name him until his eyes are open because he's so touch and go, and I don't want anybody's heart getting broken. But he's getting stronger, he's eating more, he's taking bigger poops, so I
Just
think he'll
call
probably
and
be
talk
just
to
fine.
someone. I'm like, who else? Okay, let me call. Hey, you guys, I just found a baby squirrel. Or my cat's gonna die. I'm sorry. Like, God, I'm about to call an animal rescue just to call them so I can say that I did, and people will stop telling me to call one.
They still will, like, that won't be enough because you're dealing with anxious people and there's always more what ifs. I think we should put him back to go take a nap.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him up.
I'm rebroadcasting your stream onto my channel so that they could see it too. Alright, I'll be right back. You're gonna put the squirrel back. You wanna put him back in or you want me to take him?
I'll put him back in.
Okay.
I don't see the harm in calling. I guess, like, personally, I'm just like... I guess,
Like, we were
personally,
reading for hours. There's like dedicated websites that are all about squirrel rehab, and we're following their instructions. So I'm like, I'm not sure what else they'd be able to tell me. Like, we read through it all. All right, Casey, take him back. I'll let the cats out.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying. Like, sorry if I'm getting defensive. I am getting too defensive. You guys are dumb. Why ask a professional when Google exists? I guarantee you, if I call, they'll literally tell me to use Google and that there's videos that you can look up.
Who called us dumb?
God, hold on. I'm about to have a. I don't know. I don't know why I let myself get like this. I guess it's just also like.
Your tone seems very pointed right now.
Barfleen resubscribed for
Barfleen,
31
thank
months.
you.
Casey Comfy.
All right, I'm back.
Thank you, Barfley. Sorry, I'm not meaning to get.
All right, I'm back. A lot of worriers in that chat. A lot of anxious people. They're like, but what if your cats die? It's like, I have read article after article after article. I've read guides. Some of them were just being very toxic. Like, you guys are so dumb. Why not make a phone call when Google exists? It's like... If you ever wonder why I get burnt out and don't want to be on camera, it's that kind of commentary that does it for me. Hey, Sugar Biscuit. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? All right, we're back. Yeah, here's the thing. All right, for all the doubters, I don't think we have any doubters here necessarily, because I feel like you guys trust me. I'm a pretty capable person. I feel like you know that I'm gonna do my due diligence for this little baby, right? I've done tons of research, and what I've noticed is that there are actually several different websites that just detail you how to rehab a baby squirrel. What type of squirrel, how often to feed it, what to feed it, how much to feed it, how to set up a, container for it, how to keep it warm, all of that stuff. I followed everything. I followed it all. And what I've noticed is that some of those guides have disagreements. Some of them are like, oh, you gotta feed them this, and you gotta mix this percentage of this, and you gotta use this. And then other guides are like, use this, and then this. I'm like, okay, so I'm taking a little bit of everything, and I'm trying my best to help this animal. Also, I had to go back up and look who it was that called us dumb. Just to know, just to make sure that my shit list stays up to date. Some places would tell you to let it pass. Like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of these people are disillusioned. They're just like, take it to a wildlife center. It's like, what do you think they're going to do with it? If every person that found a baby squirrel, that fell out of a tree, or they found it in somebody's yard or something, if they all took them to the wildlife center, they would have hundreds of baby squirrels to hand feed. They don't have the resources to do that. There's probably 3 people that work there. I can't with that chat, immediate vibe killer. Like, I'm fine with banter, don't get me wrong, but don't just go out of your way to, like, be mean, and then when somebody calls you out on it, be like, why are you so angry? Why? I'm just joking. Don't you know it's a joke? I love you. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I hate that shit. I hate that shit. Whenever somebody will just constantly they've got nothing to say but just negative stuff about you. They're always just trying to get a rise out of you and upset you. And then you're like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? They're like, why are you being mean to me? I love you. I'm your biggest fan. I'm like, oh, I couldn't tell. I was okay till someone kept typing oh yeah, people will do that kind of shit too. I'm like, okay, edgelord. I'm like, just remember, these people are edgelords. They don't actually mean that shit unless they're actually a true psychopath. They're just edgelords. They're just trying to get attention by being controversial. So it's pathetic. I had, like, whenever our hedgehog died, I had somebody in here make a joke about eating it, and I was like, that's really fucked up. And then I banned them. And then in their unban request, they told me that I need to learn how to take a joke and that I need trauma therapy. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I already knew that. There's nothing wrong with therapy. Pure chess lover level jokes. God, I hope pure chess lover's doing okay. I hope he's doing okay. I worry about the guy. He used to piss me off. I got a kick out of him. I got a kick out of the guy. I wanted to help him, you know? Like, if we're gonna help incels, if we want to win them over from, you know, the alt-right pipeline, it's like, we can't be so quick to just give up on them. God, like, how do you get through to some men? It's just like, brother, I don't know what to tell you, but women are not the sole blame for why your life sucks. You know what I mean? People will really latch on to a convenient target to blame for all of their suffering. For some people, it's, you know, the LGBT. For some people, it's people of color. For some people, it's women. Blaming a marginalized group for your problems is idiotic. So you need to wake up to the fact that you're being a big dum-dum. Use that brain. It's like, who actually has more of a capacity to fuck your life up? A random working class person of color or a billionaire? Think about it. It's not easy to be patient. It's a skill. There's some would say that it's a virtue. Just remember that frustration that you feel with this type of person, it's only going to push them farther into their own shitty beliefs. If you want to be helpful to them, either just don't engage or try to be patient with them. That's the only way you're actually going to help them. And I understand, not everybody's cut out for that. Like, I don't feel like I'm cut out for it half the time. Like, believe me, I want to lose my patience too. I love to fight, I fear. I know. My flight fight response is stuck in the fight position. It's stuck in the fight position. Like, I will fight my way out of this one. So, what did you think of the baby squirrel? It was cute until it started eating. I thought that was the cutest part. Yeah, Melissa, missed the eating. Well, if you watch back on, we watched it on Casey's channel, but I was rebroadcasting it here, so it should be here too. You're supposed to feed it about 4 to 5.5 cc's every 3 to 4 hours. We do about 2.5 every 2 hours, but we're gonna start moving it to about every 3 hours. He's a sloppy eater right now, so I kind of have to like get him extra and then account for some spillage. He's a sloppy eater. It's kind of hard for him to do the syringe right now. Once he gets bigger, it'll be easier. He'll be able to just gulp it up. Oh, I forgot I turned my camera off on this one. I think I'm gonna keep doing night feeding until his eyes open. So I'm not gonna get good sleep for the next few days. I'm gonna be on a every 2-hour schedule. I'm gonna have to, actually, I'll do every 3. I'll show myself some compassion. I think we'd be fine doing it every 3 hours. So I'll probably stay up until around midnight. I don't know. I'm not sure how late I'll be able to stay up tonight. My sleep fucking sucked. Last night I stayed up until 2 a.m. and gave it a feeding, and then I went and laid down for 2 hours, and then I got up at 4 and I fed him again. Yeah, it's rough taking care of a baby. They need a lot of attention. Did you see his little poop? It was a little poop, but honestly, that was the biggest poop he's made yet. So that actually makes me feel good. I'm like, all right, he's eating good. He's able to take a nice poop. He hasn't really peed much, though. So I'm wondering, like... I might need to try to get him to pee. I don't know if he will. I don't know. How does that work? Alright, there's sound coming from this website I opened up, and I'm like, what is it even coming from? I opened this up, it's just a guide on baby squirrels. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, it's this video all the way down here. Like, what? There's a random video at the bottom of the page. After about 5 weeks, he'll be able to do it on his own. Alright, good. Not only is autoplay video and sound bad, but it was all the way down here. Just some random video, unrelated. Watch this incredible video to explore the wonders of wildlife. It's some random episode of a nature documentary. All right, the next time I get it up, I'll see if he needs to pee. Get some cotton balls too. Yeah, I'm embellishing in squirrel research. Also, I need to make sure he gets sunlight. I'm looking at this. Baby squirrels need at least 20 minutes a day of unfiltered sunlight for proper vitamin D production. We might have to have a bit of a shorter stream today. I've got some baby squirrel needs to attend to. As you can tell, my thoughts are a little preoccupied. I didn't sleep very well taking care of this baby, waking up every couple hours. And now I'm just, kind of preoccupied with making sure he's taken care of. So I think, we'll see what... We've got another question in the box, so we're going to take that here in a second. And we'll see what questions come in. We'll hang out for a little bit, and I might wrap it up a little early so I can go take care of the boy. Everyone's gonna have opinions on this, but do what feels best. I say baby him. I'm gonna take good care of him. Like, we're gonna do our best to try to rehab him so that he can go and, live a happy life outside as a squirrel. He's not gonna be a pet squirrel. Is she actually calling the wildlife rescue place? And the thing is that's still not gonna shut up the doubters. Because the people who are doubters and haters like that, they're severely anxious and insecure and nothing's ever good enough. So once you start embellishing them, or once you start catering to what they're saying, it's like, it's never going to be enough. But hopefully she gets some good tips from calling, though. Like, no harm in calling, for sure. I just didn't feel the need to call exactly because everything seemed relatively normal based on everything I've read. I've done a ton of reading. I sent a selfie to a guy in a really cute outfit and he wasn't blown away. What do you think is wrong with him? Where do we start? I know for a fact that Big Mike likes to upset Casey. Yeah, and we all know why he does it. But I'm not going to get into it. The harsher the critics, the harsher the self-criticism. Oh, exactly. Whenever anybody comes at you with really harsh, undue criticism, just imagine for a minute what it would be like to be inside of their brain. You know, to be them. Like, can you imagine how critical they are of themselves? This person is miserable. So don't take their criticism so seriously. And if anything, feel sorry for them. Like, ooh, that sucks. If I know it's not coming from a good place, I don't let it occupy my mind. Exactly. It's like, if people have valid concerns for you, then they will bring it up in a way that isn't, you know, trying to make you feel terrible about yourself. Haters gonna hate, as they say. I don't know what to do with my life anymore. Live it. And all of that entails. Live that life. Try your best to enjoy it. I'm on hold with my current job and doing nothing, waiting to hear back about a job I interviewed for and still applying for jobs. The wait is killing me, and this is the third time since June of 2023 that my job is up in the air. So you've submitted this, or this is kind of an update to a previous submission. I remember hearing that before. The third time your job has been up in the air since June of 2023. Sorry. My heartburn's just been crazy lately. I'm a little burpy right now, my apologies. I'm trying my best to be patient, but today I lost it. I'm so over everything and I don't know what to do anymore. I wish I was dead. What do I do? Alright, you don't wish you were dead. You wish that you weren't stressed, and that's different. You wish that things were better. What can we do to make today a little bit better? Like, sure, having the new job would make things a lot better. That is true. But until then, what can we do to ease our discomfort? if just a little bit. I remember we talked about this before. You know, you were dealing with all of this stress of your job constantly being up in the air, and what we talked about was, well, look into other places that are more stable, you know, so that you don't have to deal with all of that anxiety. And it looks like you did do that. You've been following up on that, and you've been doing what you need to do. And it sounds like now all you need to do is just kind of chill and just wait for things to get into motion. You've already got the ball rolling, and you know, there's just going to be some downtime. So what can we do to make that downtime more pleasant? Any books you've been meaning to read? Any shows you've been meaning to watch? Any recipes you've been wanting to learn how to make? Any people you've been meaning to get back in touch with? Any friends you've been meaning to hang out with? Any cats you've been meaning to pet? When I get really, really down, I like to go down to the salon for a nice wash and a blowout. Isn't it so nice when somebody else washes your hair? Isn't it like, oh yeah. This feels way better than when I wash my hair. It's crazy. That was always my favorite part of getting my hair cut. It was what made it worth the price. The actual cutting of my hair was very straightforward, very simple. I was mostly just paying for the hair wash. Like, they'll get in there too. They'll be like, you know what I mean? They'll get all up in. Feels good. What's a small little act of self-care you could do for yourself? It could be a little snack. It could be a new candle, a new soap. A new pair of sweatpants. Maybe a cozy new blanket. I made a peanut butter and chocolate protein cheesecake today. Oh. You're trying to bulk? You're trying to get those gains? Hell yeah. I'm half awake. I'm sorry. I'm zoning out right now. Like I said, I hardly slept last night. Ooh. I have a slight glimpse of what it's like to take care of a human baby. You know, anybody who's had to raise a newborn, you know, I have much more empathy for you now. And I've only done it for one day. Let me just say, I appreciate all of you for being reasonable, sane people, because I was looking at some of the stuff that was going on in Casey's chat about it. I'm like, they're fucking unhinged. I'm like, they have no idea what they're talking about, and they're also very angry for some reason. Like, they're wild. I don't get it. Like, you gotta watch out. Some of these people, they will Yas Queen you all the way off a cliff. And then they'll look down at the wreckage and they'll be like, wow, mama, you served. It's like, you gotta look out for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you trust me, right? Like, you think I could do a good job with it. You trust me. Like, I trust me. I'm doing my best, okay? I'm doing my best. The only thing I want is, like, he hasn't peed. He's peed a little, but it was like last night. He hasn't peed yet today, so I want to see if I can get him to pee. He's pooped a couple times, but no pee, so I'm not really sure how all that works. I don't think he would make a whole bunch of pee. He hasn't had all that much liquid, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm just really trying to stay on top of it. Yeah, there's a lot of internalized misogyny and just misogyny in general. It's the thing about misogyny is that you could be straight, gay, whatever. It's like you can still be a misogynist. I've met plenty of straight men who are misogynists, and I've met plenty of gay misogynists too. They do it differently. It's more crafty. It's less direct. They think that they can just say whatever they want about a woman's body, and they're supposed to just like take it and be okay with it. Like, I've heard some gay people say things to Casey. I'm just like, there's no fucking way I would even dream of saying that to a woman. You know what I mean? Like, that's just flat out disrespectful. People don't accept women putting up boundaries like they do with men. It's true. It's true. It's like when a woman tries to put up boundaries, you're like, okay. You're like, you don't take them seriously, or you make them feel like they're crazy for having to do it in the first place. A lot of women can probably attest to this because they've probably experienced it firsthand. Have you ever told a story of something someone said to you or something someone did to you and people just were dismissive and didn't believe you or didn't take you seriously or made you feel like, you know what, maybe you're wrong for no other reason than you're a woman? Taylor Lorenz and Ofi Doki teach how this happens. It's eye-opening. I was able to work and heal my own internalized misogyny. That's important too. Like, something that people forget is that women can be misogynistic against other women, or they can even hold on to internalized misogynistic views of themselves. I've experienced a lot of these issues with medical care as a woman. This is widespread, what happens with women in medical care. Because not only are most of the medical research and testing we do, not only is most of that done on men, so we might be unaware of ways in which treatment might affect a woman, but we also have a tendency in the medical industry to not take them as seriously or to make them feel like they're crazy or that, you know, it's all in their head. Women of color definitely get the worst of it, though. You know, they don't take their pain seriously. They don't listen to me, but my husband can tell a doctor something and they listen. And that's unbelievably frustrating. I just don't understand why misogyny exists. Women are badass. Like, I don't get it. Like, why was misogyny even invented? Doesn't make any sense to me. Women are awesome. Just doesn't add up. Just doesn't make sense. Yeah, babe.
I called like 4 or 5 different places, and then finally I called this random one, and somebody just answered and they said hello, and I was just like, is this a wildlife rescue? I found a squirrel. And this woman, it was all breaking up, and she was like, if you bring it to me, I'll take it. So then chat was making fun of me, and they're like, oh, look, somebody will take it. And I'm like, this is just some random lady running an animal rescue out of her home. If
Right.
I, like, can I do that too then? And then it's okay? Like, they can come and take this baby squirrel out of my cold, dead hands.
Right. It's like, remind chat of their misogyny, because they're being very misogynistic towards you right now. They're saying that you're crazy, or you don't know what you're talking about, or that you're incapable because you're a woman.
No, you're
So
right.
clock it.
You're right. You're right, cutie cheeks.
Especially with that one mod of yours, he who should not be named.
It's actually, see, okay, and you're all annoyed too. I was like, I'm just gonna turn off the stream and hang out with my squirrel. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, they come in here because they're like, your chat's driving me crazy. I'm like, set them straight. Not literally, but figuratively.
No, I will.
Secret Squirrel says to rehab at home if you can, because the wildlife rescues are overrun with hundreds of baby squirrels at a time. See, that's exactly what I was saying. It's like
it's not like it's an owl. It's not like it's a baby eagle. It's
And
not like
all
it's a
things
baby
cons-
fox.
right, and all things considered, it's not that complicated. Like, I looked up everything you do. It's not that hard. It's easier than taking care of a human baby, I'd say. But no, that's exactly what I was saying. It's like, if you take it to a rehab center, it's like they might tell you, like, oh yeah, we'll take it, but what does that mean? Like, we'll take it and then do what with it? That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to rehab it.
No, I think this lady probably would have, but like I said, it was just some lady running an animal.
She's a
rehab
squirrel
out of
lady.
her
She's a
house.
squirrel woman. Squirrel stampede. Yeah, for what we can tell, the squirrel's not injured or anything. He doesn't require any amount of like special care, just the regular, you know, like feeding and helping with going to the bathroom. And some people get to seem to get something out of being overly bossy / critical. And just as a PSA to those people, no one likes it. Everyone resents you for it. It's like,
That's why they
nobody
do it.
likes it. It's because they're starved for attention, and they'll satisfy for negative attention. It's like, I need you to pay attention to me, and I'm not going to get the attention that I'm looking for by being nice to you. I'm going to be mean to you instead, because that'll get your attention. Now your focus is all on me. Yeah, we're gonna take care of it. It's gonna get released in a few weeks. You know, when it's like 9-10 weeks old, probably. Once it's around 6 weeks, it'll be old enough to start exploring, so we'll be able to like take it out and, you know, like, what people underestimate is the power of instinct in animals. You know, when a squirrel is out in nature and it starts to hear the sounds that other squirrels make, it's like, oh, they recognize it. They'll go and they'll be like, hey, how's it going? Not sure why your chat is having a fit, because that's all they know how to do. That's all that some of them know how to do. Nothing is ever fun, nothing is ever good. Just nothing but criticism and judgment, and you wonder why you don't have any friends. You wonder why people don't want to hang out with you. You wonder why you don't get invited to parties. If you want to make friends, try being friendly. Maybe I do belong in Casey's chat after all. Well, no, because you would clock them too hard. You would clock them too hard like I do, and then they would be fearful of you. I won't have other squirrels to teach it, but I might be able to figure it out. I'm like, at that age, it's like, you can kind of teach it how to forage. It's like, once it learns that, like, oh, I can find food in places just by looking around for it. It's like, it'll get it. All I can say is I'm really grateful for the community and chat that I have because you all are very well behaved. I don't have to stress. I get overwhelmed. How do you think I feel? Like, I got to the point where it's like, I just won't even read it anymore. I'm like, if I'm on that stream, I'm just like, I'm not even looking at it. It's just, somebody's just gonna say something to try to piss me off because they think it would be funny. So you gotta remember that those aren't people that are really deserving of your time and attention. I thought B-Wayne was unmodded. I'm never gonna unmod B-Wayne. B-Wayne's a great moderator. The two chats and streams are very yin and yang. Oh, exactly. So I think what I want to do is I want to take the baby outside for a few minutes because I'm looking at this guide. It says it needs 20 minutes a day of sunlight so that it can get its vitamin D. And then I want to try to give it some more Pedialyte. It's been drinking the puppy milk. So it's been getting some moisture, but it hasn't really peed. So I'm like, maybe it needs more fluids. Maybe I'll give him a couple mils of Pedialyte. I'll take it outside. I'll see if it wants a little bit of Pedialyte. Let it get some sunlight. I'm just trying my best to take good care of that little baby. I've been reading so many guides. If you were to go on Google and you were to look up, like, as you can see, baby squirrel care guide is right here in my history. Like, I read this one, I read this one. And like, these are pretty comprehensive. No injuries. We checked for injuries. Injury was good. So I'm gonna see if I can get it to pee. Right now I'm feeding it Pedialyte. See, look, it's full-on breakdown. So I read through this one, I read through this one. This one's also, like, this is how I designed the thing that it sleeps in based off of this thing. It's like heating pad under half the container, set to low. See, I follow. You point the syringe up. He doesn't latch that strong yet. He's getting there though. So right now we can do about every 3 hours. I was doing it about every 2, but you know, we're gonna up it a little bit. But yeah, I need to just make sure he pees. As you can tell, I'm a little distracted. You have a kitchen scale to weigh him. I think I'll do that too. I'll take his weight and then I'll get an idea of how much to feed him. You feed him about 7% of his body weight in milliliters. So you weigh it in grams, and then you take 7% of that, and that's how much you'll feed him. Right now, like in the beginning though, I'm kind of just getting him accustomed to this way of eating because he is a few weeks old and he's not able to like nurse on his mom anymore, so he's kind of having to learn how to do the syringe. And so we're kind of like feeding less but more frequently to kind of like get into the habit of it, you know? So bleak when people act like wild animals aren't worth saving. I'm the type of person, I will get out of my car and help a turtle cross the road. I did that once in the middle of a very busy street. Want to go to college for psychology? What got you interested in it? helping myself and others, understanding others. What sort of things, were you observing? Like, what sort of things, made you think, like, why does that happen? Or why is it that way? Like, or maybe you learned something, like some fact or some, theory. What was it that got you like, I thought turtles were in water. What are they doing on the streets? They do both, actually. There are land turtles and water turtles. It's good to not mix them up. You don't want to put a land turtle in the water. It'll drown. I've never seen a turtle in real life. They're pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh. Just my curiosity in general, what makes people do the things they do, and if I understand that, then I know how to help them. There's also an art to figuring out how to help people help themselves. Because what you'll come to find in working in mental health is that sometimes you know exactly what a person could do, or, what would benefit them or what would help them make a situation better. But sometimes it's not just about telling them what it is that they need to do, it's reminding them that it's worth doing, opening them up to the idea, reminding them that they are worth the work. How's the baby squirrel so far? Pretty good. We fed it not that long ago. Were you able to see? We fed it a little bit ago. I'm going to take it outside and give it some sunlight because I read that it's good to give them about 20 minutes of sunlight a day so that they can get their vitamin D. And then I'm going to give it some Pedialyte and I'm going to see if I can get it to go to the bathroom. Because he hasn't peed in a little while and I don't want him to get all backed up. What made me want to learn psychology? Ooh. I think I've always been fascinated with the human brain. Like, ever since I found out that I had one, I was just very curious about it. I'm like, how does this thing work? How can I, is this thing in control of me or am I in control of it? Like, what is going on here? Am I my thoughts? Am I the one that is observing my thoughts? So, in many ways, mine was a bit existential. But along the way, that's what got me started, was just trying to answer those questions. What is the human brain all about? But in doing that, you realize just how much you can help people, and then you see how many people are struggling to try to figure life out. So it allows me to sleep easily, knowing that I am doing some good in the world. There's a lot of suffering in the world, and I do what I can to alleviate it just a little bit. My GF and I broke up yesterday, that's why I'm here. Was it kind of out of nowhere, or is this something that you might have been able to see coming? How did that go? How you feeling about it? Sort of seen it coming. It's long distance. She's in Washington for school and I'm in Cali. Yeah, that kind of distance can be really stressful to maintain in a relationship, especially when you're doing something like school and then you've got, you know, that occupies a lot of your time and it can make it feel like, you know, it's difficult to upkeep. Hopefully things didn't end on bad terms, you know, hopefully you guys can still be friendly with one another. Never fun. Never fun. My brain is just totally occupied by that baby squirrel. You want to see it again? I'm not going to pull it out. I'm going to pull it out, take it outside later, but not now. This is how it looked right after we found it in the yard. We just picked it up and threw it into a box that was nearby, just to keep it away from the animals and stuff. We didn't keep it in this box. We put it back outside with like a little heater. We got like a hot, like one of those heat pad type things that you microwave, and I got it warm so that he could stay warm. They're very temperature sensitive, so you didn't. And also we learned that the mom won't come get the baby if the baby's too cold. The mom might leave it there if it's too cold, or if it, smells like a cat, or any number of reasons. The mom might not come and pick it up. So we got it warm and we left it outside for a little while just to see, will mom come and get it? But it stayed out there for a while and mom didn't come to pick it up, so it was starting to get dark and it was going to get down to like 40 degrees that night, so we put a little enclosure together for it with a little heater pad, some cozy cloth to sleep in. And this is him this morning. He woke up. He's just been a sleepy boy. I think that fall took it out of him and he's just been kind of out of it. He's been getting a bit more active and he'll eat more enthusiastically now, so I think he is starting to feel better. But even though he didn't look visibly injured, that type of, he fell pretty far out of the tree. This wasn't a short fall. He probably fell a good 30 feet. So I would imagine he's probably quite a bit, he's just a little shooken up. But I don't think there's anything more serious going on. He doesn't seem to be. So I hope he'll be just fine. I hope he, is able to grow up and we're able to release him back into the wild. But yeah, he's definitely just been occupying all of my attention lately. I've had a hard time focusing on anything else. Yeah, here's my hand for scale. That's how little he is. He's a little guy. So here in a little bit, I'm going to take him outside. I'm going to get him some sunlight. I read that you want to get them at least 20 minutes of sunlight a day so that they can get their vitamin D. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to let him, you know, just hear the nature sounds. Maybe I'll take him around by the tree so he can hear the other squirrels. And then I'm going to see if I can get him to go pee. I'm going to give him some more fluids. I'm going to see if he'll go pee. But yeah, I've been checking on him about every 2.5 hours. I have been a busy boy. I woke up every 2 hours last night. First off, I stayed up until 2 a.m. And then I woke up at 4. And then I woke up at 6. And then I got up at 8. And then I went back to sleep after that. I slept like shit. And then I woke up and I was more tired than I was when I woke up the first time. It's like, fuck, I hate when that happens. Don't you hate when that happens and you wake up and you're like, this is too early for me to wake up? And so you go back to sleep and you sleep for like 2 more hours and you wake up and you're like, what year is it? So that's what happened to me this morning. I woke up and I was like, I was even more tired than I was when I laid down originally. So I'm probably going to go take care of this squirrel, and then I'm probably going to take another nap because my sleep schedule is fucked. I'm going to go take care of this baby, and then I'm going to take a nap myself. But no, he's been pretty active. He's like, he won't move around too much, but like he'll crawl on you, he'll climb on you. Like he's a wiggler. Like he doesn't act like there's anything too wrong with him. So that's what makes me feel hopeful, you know. If he did have some sort of like internal injury or something from the fall, I would think that he would be in more distress, but he seems pretty calm. He seems pretty chill. So I'm hoping that everything's gonna go just fine. I missed out on my REM sleep for the night. You know what's wild is that in those moments where I was just sleeping for like 2 hours at a time, I was having these wild dreams. I forgot them immediately upon waking, but I just remember like I was just having weird dreams all night. I am now the father of a newborn. Yeah, don't forget me on Father's Day. You got my P.O. box, I better get a card. Isn't he so cute though? He's such a little baby. Yeah, if he was injured, I feel like he wouldn't be as wiggly as he was, or he would be in more distress. Like, he can be vocal, like, when he gets stressed out, like, he'll scream at you, like, his, believe me, like, but he hasn't really been too vocal. Like, he'll, like, make little, like, chirps and stuff, but, like, he doesn't really do his, like, full-on scream. But he can, if he wants to, but he just hasn't really. I think he's been pretty comfortable. Isn't he so cute though? I'm obsessed. Just look at those little nails. He's serving with those nails, honey. Yeah, I'd say he's probably about 3.5 weeks based on... Because, like, when they're really little, like, their ears are, like, flat against their head. They kind of curve in, but then their ears start to slowly kind of move out, and his ears are starting to come more out, so I think he's probably like 3 weeks and a couple days old. And his eyes should start opening at around 4 weeks, so I'm excited about that, because right now he's just blind as a bat. It'll be nice when he's actually able to see what's going on. Well, caught up with these questions. Yeah, if he were a pinky, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have taken him to the wildlife center or something, because a tiny, tiny little baby squirrel, that would have been way more difficult. I might run up to the pet store and see if they have a better like feeding syringe with like a little like nip on it or something, you know? I want something a little bit better. I don't want to wait 2 days to have it shipped. We could get it by tomorrow, though. I don't know. I might have Casey order this. I might just run up to the pet store, though. They might have something that works. But I want something like this. You know what I mean? Either that squirrel is gigantic or that person's hands are really tiny. Make like a little set. Says I could get it by tomorrow. I might just order this one then. Call them before you just head over. Actually, you know what I like to do? Because I hate calling people on the phone. I'll admit it. I just check online. Looks like they have this thing, which kind of sucks. Wouldn't mind like a little eyedropper though. Thinks I'm in Kansas. I'm not in Kansas. They don't have this anywhere though. It's not available anywhere. What about PetSmart? Hold on. I might have a dropper. I don't know if I still have it though, because I had it for my, I had it in some of my kitchen stuff. I had it for making gummies with a gummy mold. It's a tiny little eyedropper. I wonder if I still have it. I'll have to dig through my kitchen shit. This is literally the only one they have on their website too, and you can't buy it anywhere. That sucks. Anyway, you can tell I'm very distracted by squirrel-related stuff today. Hopefully I get some better sleep tonight, and I'm a bit more with it tomorrow. I think I'm gonna run out so I can take care of this, because I want to try to get a new dropper. So I either need to find one or run to the store and pick one up. Infant section at Walmart. That's a good idea. I'll look there if I can't find one anywhere else. I need to find a little dropper somewhere. Might have to run to a pharmacy or something. Right now he's just so little, I think it'd be easier to feed him with a little dropper instead of the syringe. When I do the syringe, it's like sometimes it comes out too fast and he has a hard time swallowing it all, and I don't want to aspirate him, so I think I'd rather just get a dropper and play it safe and go real slow. I think online is your best bet. Yeah, probably. I might order these syringes and then go find a dropper just in the meantime, because I'm probably going to use a dropper for the next couple days anyway. I need to send this link. Really hard to find what you're looking for. I'm gonna order this. This is like a nipple set for feeding tiny little animals, which will be good because I'll be able to feed him, you know, when he's really tiny, and then we'll be able to graduate to the bigger ones, so that'll be nice. But in the meantime, I need to go find a dropper. So I need to go run to the pharmacy or something and see what they've got. So anyway, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go take care of that. And then I'm gonna come back and take care of the little squirrel, take him outside, see if he'll go pee, give him some Pedialyte. So yeah, thank you for being here. You know, it was far from a normal stream today, but like I said, I'm just beat. You know, I was up all night taking care of this baby squirrel. And now my attention is just very focused on the squirrel right now. I just want to make sure that he's okay. But we'll be back tomorrow. Back tomorrow. I'll keep you updated. So I'm going to go run to the store and then take care of this little guy. I'll, you know, check out the Discord. We'll keep posting pics and stuff. So Anyway. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you all. Shorter stream today, but it is what it is. Alrighty, I'm gonna send you over to Casey, so go lift the vibes over there. Go lift the vibes over there. Alright, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you all next time. Stay safe out there. Until then. See you later. Oh yeah, Beaver found the squirrel, by the way. Casey had to get it from Beaver. He picked it up, he had no idea what to do with it. That also could be part of the reason why the mom didn't come pick it up, if it smelled like cat. Sometimes if the squirrel has been anywhere near a cat, the mom might not go near it.